Good morning, all of you. Welcome you all in this platform of StudyIQ OPSC channel. Those who are online, please confirm audio and video both are working fine. Okay, so today we'll see the strategy regarding the preparation of history, particularly the general studies. And since we are middle of our preparation for the 2024 and upcoming years, so we need to highlight those important or key areas through which we will able to know what are those important areas of history and how to prepare for that history. So in this particular session, we will discuss the syllabus along with the different sources which you need to follow to prepare the history. And we will have a little glance towards the previous year question paper as well, from where you will identify those areas where we need to focus upon more. Okay, so this should be a broad kind of discussion and a focused one as far as your prelims and mains is concerned. Okay, दोनों चीज को कवर करते हुए प्रीलिम्स एंड मेंस दोनों चीज को कवर करते हुए हम लोग डिस्कशन शुरू करेंगे. करेक्ट. सो चलिए, आप लोग जो भी ऑनलाइन है, आई वुड रिक्वेस्ट प्लीज शेयर दिस सेशन विथ योर फ्रेंड्स सो दैट उन लोगों को भी फायदा हो. ओके, सो लेट्स स्टार्ट. टुडे इज बुधा पूर्णिमा, सो wish you all a happy Buddha Purnima, the birth anniversary of Gautam Buddha. A quotation by Buddha: if your mind is scattered, it will lead to your downfall. But if your mind is focused, you will achieve everything. Gautam Buddha. Scattered in the sense you are not focused. You are hovering in many such objectives. जैसे कई बार क्या होती है ना, वी प्रिपेयर फॉर 5 to 6 एग्जाम्स एंड वी क्वालिफाई नॉट ए सिंगल वन. इफ यू आर फोकस्ड ऑन वन एग्जाम, then definitely it provides you the result. So that is what it's saying. Your mind should be a focused one, then only you will be able to achieve everything. So it's a very, sensible quotation. We need to follow this. So in your career as well, those who are preparing for the civil service, those who are aspiring to become a civil servant, for them it's very focused quotation by Gautam Buddha. You need to focus upon to achieve your goal. And remember, 12th May, yani ki today is the Gautam Buddha Jayanti, or what we call the Buddha Purnima. Okay, so let's start. Before I start, let me tell you, on this Buddha Purnima, the StudyIQ is celebrating Great Knowledge Festival. It's a sale, discounted offers are available for you. I will give you a detail about this particular Aarambh Foundation Batch 1. Okay, इसके बारे में डिटेल में बताऊंगा. जो लोग हमारे रेगुलर व्यूअर्स हैं और जो लोग सिविल सर्विसेज के प्रिपरेशन करना चाहते हैं, हमें फोकस्ड होकर प्रिपेयर करनी है, इसके बारे में डिटेल बताऊंगा. चलिए देखते हैं फीचर्स क्या क्या है इस कोर्स के. एक तो है 1100 hours live classes. You will find live classes, live lectures. Number one. Number two, one-to-one group and one-to-one and group mentorship. So what generally happens during the class, we will be able to answer our questions, or we will be able to get our answers of our questions from faculty. Suppose classes nahi hai and after the class you are revising something, but you are missing a link, you do not have idea, so a doubt comes to your mind. So what would be the next step? क्या faculty का approach कर सकते हैं? If you have the number, you can approach the faculty. That is one part. Second part, suppose faculty is not approachable, let's say 3 months after the class, 4 months after the class, so dedicated mentor would be there. He will or she will take care of those doubts of yours. If you are not able to make a schedule, if you are not able to make a plan of your study, then mentor is there to help you. So this is what actually the role of the mentor. The mentor is the guiding force, the kind of friend, the philosopher. You can share your every such doubts, problems, everything with the mentor. This is what the idea is all about. Module wise test with respect to MCQs and subjective one. Why module wise? Suppose let's say your fundamental rights topic has been completed in your prelims class. Now it's time to assess. So how to assess that you have studied well, or whatever you have studied, you'll be able to answer back. आपको कैसे पता चला कि आपने जो पढ़ा है वो सही से आप आंसर कर सकते हो? ओनली थ्रू प्रैक्टिस. प्रैक्टिस इन द सेंस कि एक टेस्ट होगा, लेट्स से एमसीक्यूज ओरिएंटेड एक टेस्ट होगा, एंड देन सब्जेक्टिव वाला भी एक टेस्ट होगा, राइट? You might have seen that fundamental rights, let's say fundamental rights is an area from where every year they are asking questions. Prelims also and mains. So this is one part, and if you write an answer, you'll be getting your copy just after 2 days, or within the 2 days you will get your evaluated copy. Okay, ये एक चीज आपको help की जाएगी. Complete prelims test series ये एक आपको प्रोवाइड की जा रही है. 12 प्लस कंप्लीट 12 प्लस टेस्ट होगा, यानी कि 12 से ज्यादा टेस्ट होगी जो आपको प्रोवाइड किया जाएगा. डेली मेंस क्वेश्चन विथ आंसर राइटिंग, ये भी एक प्रोविजन है. डेली करंट अफेयर्स पीपीटी, जैसे सुबह 9 AM मॉर्निंग को 9 AM वी आर कमिंग विद द डेली करंट अफेयर्स. सो दिस विल हेल्प यू इन योर प्रिपरेशन एज वेल. वैल्यू एडिशन, वीकली करंट अफेयर्स पीडीएफ, वीकली सैटरडे और फ्राइडे आपको डेली वीकली करंट अफेयर्स भी मिलती रहेगी. एंड मंथली स्टेट वाइज करंट अफेयर, दिस इज वन बुकलेट विल बी गिवन टू यू. इट्स लाइक ए मैगजीन. ओके, नाउ monthly current affairs MCQ you will get, daily class PPT you will get, handwritten notes plus the class crux, topic wise complete content you will be given, and daily handwritten content. Okay, now coming to prelims syllabus. Prelims syllabus को थोड़ा देखते हैं and then we'll discuss one by one. If you see the prelims syllabus, in that prelims syllabus these two units dedicated to history. One is history of India and Indian national movement. This is one part. The other one is history of Odisha and Odia national movement. Okay, these two units dedicated to history syllabus, right? Okay, so history of India, when we say history of India, it consists of all those three categories or three divisions. One is ancient, another one is medieval, another one is the modern. Three different history part, and specifically they have highlighted this Indian national movement. When we say Indian national movement, this is generally considered just after 1858. Indian national movement, when we consider Indian national movement, this is specifically just after 1858. So 1857 is the Sepoy Mutiny, and after the Sepoy Mutiny you will get the Government of India Act 1858, and after that you will see the national movement, formation of Congress. Then we have Swadeshi movement. उसके बाद आपको दिखेगी नॉन कोऑपरेशन मूवमेंट. उसके बाद फिर आपको सिविल डिसोबीडियंस मूवमेंट भी दिखेगी, and then the Quit India movement we have seen. And in between that you will also see small movements or very local level movements against the colonial master. Next part is the history of Odisha. History of Odisha, when we say, it also includes all these three: ancient, medieval and modern. History of Odisha, and along with that Odia nationalism, that means specifically the modern India or the national movement of or national movement in Odisha, you can say Odia nationalism. Okay, that means similarly 1858 onwards what happened in Odisha. This is what they are simply mentioned in the syllabus, Odia nationalism. Okay, so these two units dedicated to your prelims syllabus. Now coming to the mains one as well. The first GS paper 1 dedicates to history and Indian culture. GS1 dedicates to history and Indian culture. And if you see Indian culture covering salient aspects of art forms, literature, architecture from ancient to modern times. That means from ancient to modern, all sorts of art and culture. वो चाहे लैंग्वेज की बात हो, लिटरेचर की बात हो, चाहे वो आर्किटेक्चर यानी कि टेम्पल आर्किटेक्चर की बात हो, चाहे वो ड्रामा, डांस, म्यूजिक, कुछ भी जो भी, या पेंटिंग, लेट्स से परफॉर्मिंग एंड नॉन परफॉर्मिंग आर्ट्स जिसको बोलते हैं. सो वॉट एवर मे बी, ये आपकी ये दोनों एंशिएंट टू मॉडर्न के बीच में जितने भी आर्ट फॉर्म्स है, ये सारा कुछ हम लोग डिस्कस करेंगे अंडर इंडियन आर्ट एंड कल्चर. ठीक है. तो एंशिएंट के टाइम पे क्या आर्ट एंड कल्चर थी? फॉर एग्जाम्पल आप देखोगे, जो एंशिएंट के टाइम में जो हिंदू राजा थे, उनके टाइम पे क्या आर्ट एंड आर्किटेक्चर थी. देन इन द मिडिवल टाइम इट्स मुगल आर्ट एंड आर्किटेक्चर, एंड देन इन द मॉडर्न टाइम में ब्रिटिश आर्ट एंड आर्किटेक्चर कैसे कैसे इवॉल्व होती है, क्या क्या डिफरेंसेस है, ये सारा कुछ हम लोग चर्चा करेंगे. Apart from that, you will find temple architecture of Odisha. Apart from that, you will find temple architecture of Odisha. When we say temple architecture of Odisha, यहाँ पे हमने temple architecture of India का पढ़े ही होंगे. ओके, यहाँ पे temple architecture of India हम पढ़े ही होंगे. बस उसका एक extension होगा यहाँ पे कि temple architecture specifically ओडिशा में क्या होगी, यानी what we call the Kalinga style of temple architecture. Kalinga style of temple architecture, and Kalinga style of temple architecture broadly follows the Nagara style of temple architecture, which you will find in the northern area, right? Which you will find in the northern area, and within that Nagara style of temple architecture, Kalinga style of temple architecture is having its own specification or uniqueness. This has been divided into three parts, what we call the Rekha Deula, Pidha Deula, and Buitala Deula. So all those details we will discuss temple architecture of Odisha. Okay. So first we will study the India part and then we'll discuss the Odisha part. Similarly, socio-cultural development in Odisha, that means Samajiko and Sanskritiko, what we call Samajiko and Sanskritiko. So we'll discuss socio-cultural development in Odisha. That means how society in Odisha has evolved from ancient, medieval and modern. How cultural aspect has evolved from ancient, medieval and modern. So how things have changed, or what are the different elements of society have changed. So all those details we will discuss. Socio-cultural development in Odisha. Okay. How art forms has evolved, how society, let's say, you might have seen Bhakti movement, okay, Bhakti movement, how Pansaka has contributed with respect to Odia literature, how Pansaka has contributed in terms of social movement, Chaitanya's contribution, the contribution of British or what we call Christian missionaries, contribution of Islam in Odisha. So it was a cultural mingling, but still Odisha has its uniqueness in terms of art, architecture and specifically the cultural point of view. So these details we will discuss. Bhakti movement in Odisha, spatially it has been mentioned, so we will discuss Bhakti movement. If you see Chaitanya, Pansaka and Pratap Rudradeva, these three people are contemporary. How these three people have shaped the Odisha history or Odisha society during that part we will discuss, and its impact on the society. Its impact on the society, how it has affected the different elements of Odisha society. Then evolution and growth of Odia language and literature. Evolution of Odisha, Odia language and literature. Language is very emotional factor. Language is something very attached to or close to the society or individuals. So during the British era also, we started giving Odia literature a special status because before 1936 we tried to have a separate Odisha province and we wanted to give a separate status for the Odia language. So how or what are those or who are those personalities who contributed to give a special status to Odia language, how Odia language evolved, and again let me tell you how Pansaka have contributed to give a special status to Odia language and literatures. All those details we will discuss. Apart from that, regional tradition of Odisha festival. Regional tradition of Odisha festival, if you see, if you divide the Odisha into north, south and east and west, you will find different types of festivals in different areas. In eastern, it is the Raja festival which is celebrated the most, and in the western Odisha, you will find the Nuakhai festival is celebrated the most. So we will see those regional festivals which are celebrated in different parts of Odisha, those in detail, that also will discuss in this syllabus. Now, after this Indian and Odisha cultural or social and cultural aspects, let's come to the history part. Okay, history part. And let me tell you, in prelims also we have already discussed, when we say history of India, that means we have to cover ancient, medieval and modern. But if you come to the mains aspect or mains syllabus in history, then it is something, the Indian history or the syllabus says the history starts from middle of the 18th century until the present, significant events, personalities and issues. That means the history is beginning, or as far as mains syllabus, the history is beginning from middle of the 18th century. That means you can simply say from 1750 onwards. Middle of the 18th century, that means 1750 onwards. That means ancient and medieval history we do not have to study as far as modern history or modern or mains history is concerned. Okay, mains history. So you do not have to study ancient and medieval in Indian history for mains syllabus. So that is what this particular topic is saying. So middle of the 18th century until the present. So in between that क्या हम लोग देखेंगे, 1750 onwards क्या हम देखेंगे. पहला significant events, हम क्या देखेंगे, significant events देखेंगे, personalities को देखेंगे and issues को देखेंगे, यानी कि उस समय में क्या क्या हो रही थी. ये थोड़ा सा और डिटेल में बताऊंगा दो तीन मिनट के बाद, क्योंकि क्या क्या हमें देखना है एक्चुअली सिलेबस में. तो you need to decode the syllabus. Actually the fact lies with that. You need to decode the syllabus. Syllabus में जो लिखा हुआ है उसको हम कैसे handle करें, manage करें, that is the challenge. So this is one part or one part of the syllabus. Second part is with respect to same history of India, the freedom struggle. So it's exclusively written the freedom struggle. That means we need to focus more on this freedom struggle, or what we call the Indian national movement. Indian national movement. In this freedom struggle, Indian national movement, it says various stages, important contributions from different parts of the country. Okay, that means the personalities we need to focus upon. Different personalities, those who are contributed in Swadeshi movement हो, चाहे वो नॉन कोऑपरेशन मूवमेंट हो, चाहे वो क्विट इंडिया मूवमेंट हो, या INA जो नेशनल आर्मी, उसके साथ साथ आपकी नावल म्यूटिनी हो. इस तरह से कई भी छोटे बड़े जितने भी इवेंट्स हुए हैं उनमें कौन से पर्सनालिटीज कंट्रीब्यूट किया हुआ है. ओके, उसके साथ साथ पोस्ट इंडिपेंडेंस कंसोलिडेशन एंड रीऑर्गेनाइजेशन विद इन द कंट्री. दिस पार्ट बिलोंग्स टू जिसको हम लोग बोलते हैं ना कि पोस्ट इंडिपेंडेंस कंसोलिडेशन, मतलब व्हेन ब्रिटिश लेफ्ट दिस कंट्री एंड इंडिया गॉट इंडिपेंडेंस, वी हैड दो स्मॉल प्रिंसली स्टेट्स. सो सरदार वल्लभ भाई पटेल वाज गिवन दिस रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी टू यूनाइट इंडिया. तो वो जो प्रोसेस थी वो क्या थी, राइट? एंड सिमिलर थिंग यू विल फाइंड इन द ओडिशा एज वेल, under the leadership of Hare Krishna Mahatab. All those details will be discussed under this unit, post independence consolidation and reorganization within the country. So till now, or these three units is all about what we call the Indian history. Now we are moving to the Odisha history, which is very elaborately or detailed mention about the Odisha part. First one is Kalinga War and significance. So the history syllabus in mains part starts from the Kalinga War and its significance. Okay, so when did it happen? Who were those two parties? What are the significance? What are the causes? All those details will be discussed. So first one is the Kalinga War and significance. Then dynastic history of Odisha. कौन सी डायनेस्टीज और राजा कौन सी वंशज के थे, वो लोग क्या क्या और कैसे रूल किया हुआ था, वो सारा कुछ डिस्कस होगा. एंड मोस्टली वी विल फोकस ऑन those or their cultural contribution to Odisha society. That is important for us. I will come to those details. Dynastic history of Odisha. So first we need to focus upon the Mahamegavan Kharavalo. Second is the Bhomya Kauro, and the third one is the Somavansis, and the fourth is Gangas and the Gajapatis. Okay, so first one is the Mahamegavan Kharavalo, second is Bhomya Kauros, Somavansis, Gangas and Gajapatis. Okay. Then early resistance movement in Odisha, Pike Rebellion. Early resistance movement in Odisha, Pike Rebellion, Bir Surendra Sai and the revolt of 1857. So early resistance movement means, I think you know 1857 was kind of a large scale movement against the British Empire. So before that also Odisha contributed in terms of revolt, and one significant was 1817. Okay, 1817, which is known as Pike Rebellion. And in that Pike Rebellion, what impact it had on British Empire, and who are those personalities participated in that Pike Rebellion. Similarly, Bira Surendra Sai and the revolt 1857 we will discuss. Then creation of Odisha province, which was successful in 1936. All those details we will see, when it started, how it started, who were those personalities contributed. All those details we will discuss. Creation of Odisha province. Freedom movement and Prajamandal movement in Odisha. This is specifically dedicated to the modern modern Odisha history, what we call the national movement and national movement occurrence in Odisha, or Odisha's contribution in national movement, you can say. That means when the Swadeshi movement was there, how Odisha was behaving, or who were those leaders participated in the Swadeshi movement, who were those leaders participated in the non-cooperation movement. Let me tell you, you must have studied the Kanika movement, okay, the Kanika, the revolt of the peasants against the Kanika Raja, and it was coincided with the non-cooperation movement. So how it contributed with respect to that, so we will discuss in detail. And similarly, social basis of Odia nationalism, how Odia nationalism was awakened, who were those contributors through their writings, through their articles, poems, all those details, or through their organizations, how social basis of Odia nationalism also started. Similarly, integration of princely states in Odisha, how these princely states were integrated, okay, integration of princely states. And then the social reform movements in Odisha. When we say social reform, then it is socio-religious reform, okay, socio-religious reform. So these are the syllabus which are mentioned as far as your mains point of view, and we need to discuss these in detail. Now coming to sources, okay, sources. First one is the Indian history and second is Odisha history. So first we will see Indian history sources. The first, ancient history, which is required specifically in prelims. You can refer to this book, Ancient India, NCERT class 11, written by R.S. Sharma. Okay, this is old NCERT. So you can refer to this old NCERT, you can refer to this R.S. Sharma, ancient history. Similarly, medieval history, you can refer to Satish Chandra, a history textbook for class 11, a history textbook for class 11, medieval India or medieval history. And for modern history, you can simply refer to a brief history of modern India, Spectrum publication. Rajiv Ahir, the IPS officer, has written this book or compiled this book, in fact, we can say. So modern history, you can refer simply to Spectrum, one of the famous book. Okay, these three are in for Indian history. Similarly, for Indian culture, you can refer to Indian art and culture, and Nitin Singhania is the author. McGraw-Hill publication. Nitin Singhania, the book you can refer, Indian Art and Culture. Okay, now come to Odisha part. Odisha part, we have two options actually. One is one material by the professor of Utkal University. He has written 3 volume, Manas Kumar Das, Dr. Manas Kumar Das. One is 1435 to 1803 and 1803 to till 1947, and before 1435 also he has written 3 volume which dedicated to ancient Odisha history, medieval Odisha history and modern Odisha history. So this you can refer. Otherwise you can watch my videos in YouTube. It's StudyIQ PCS and StudyIQ OPSC also. So you can just put topic in the YouTube channel, you will get the video, or you can simply refer to the playlist. Okay, as far as Odisha history is concerned. Now coming to the strategy part, the main focus part, what we need to study, because the syllabus you know, the sources also I think you know, but what we need to do or what should be our strategy for upcoming exam, be it prelims or be it mains, so or those who are starting from the zero or the scratch. So what would be our strategy? The first one is, whenever you study history, start focusing on the timeline of the history. Make a sequence of events. Okay, timeline of history. Don't study history in a haphazard manner. Suppose whenever you study something or study a particular chapter or topic, just try to make a timeline. Timeline in the sense, you just try to make a sequence of events as per their occurrence. In which year this has occurred. So basically आपको year wise study करनी है. You need to study year wise. Let me give you one example. Broadly यदि आप देखोगे modern history पे यदि हम शुरू करते हैं, modern history को देखते हैं, 1885 1885 the formation of Indian National Congress, right? 1905 just after 20 years one significant event happened. क्या थी वो? बंगाल पार्टीशन, राइट? 1906 में एक सबसे बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट इवेंट है, वो क्या है? ऑल इंडिया मुस्लिम लीग, जो सेपरेट कंट्री की नींव रखी थी, यानी द फाउंडेशन वाज लेड इन दिस ईयर, ऑल इंडिया मुस्लिम लीग. 1907 यहां से शुरू होती है आपकी सूरत स्प्लिट. कांग्रेस वाज डिवाइडेड, सूरत स्प्लिट. 1909 यहां पे आती है आपकी पार्लियामेंटरी रिफॉर्म और सेपरेट इलेक्टोरेट वाज डिमांडेड और इट वाज गिवन बाय द ब्रिटिश, राइट? 1911 Bengal partition was withdrawn, right? So similar events you can have a make a sequence of events, and it's easy for your understanding, it is easy to remember as well. आप याद कर सकते हो. Okay, so whenever you study, just get a rough page and just try to write it. 1850 रे कोण हेतिला, 1905 रे कोण हेतिला, 6 रे कोण हला, 7 रे कोण हला, 9 रे कोण हला, 11 रे कोण हला, all those details. Okay, only timeline, so it will be imprinted in your mind. So that is the motto. Okay, so timeline is important because sometimes they do ask questions with respect to the timeline, right? Timeline question they do ask. Second is mind mapping. So after timeline, mind mapping. For example, 1857 revolt, and you just try to make a map of it. What is that map? First we'll see causes, and in that causes again we'll see the political, economic, socio-religious, right? So these type of map you can make, and under that political you can write subsidiary alliance and doctrine of lapse, Okay. Impact. No need to write in detail like जैसे किताब में लिखा हुआ है, you have to write. No, don't do that. Otherwise, you would make another book simply by doing the copy and paste. So, mind mapping is important. Right? Mind mapping is important. You can, that means whenever you start making notes of your chapters, you can use that mind mapping. Okay, mind mapping. So mind mapping is important as far as revision point of view. So in the second reading of 1857, instead of going through that book, I would go for this, because I have to remember this, I have to write it in the copy. पढ़ने से नहीं होगा, we have to produce on the page. That is important. Okay. So this you have to do revision mind mapping. ये समझ में आया mind mapping को, how to do that? Simply 1857 सारे इवेंट्स के हो सकते हैं, जैसे बंगाल पार्टीशन, राइट, causes, political, economic, right, impact. Okay, or outcome you can say. So in this manner, you can simply write it in terms of mind mapping. Then whenever you study a particular event, just go through the personalities. That means in history, personalities and events are important. For example, 1857 itself. So when you are studying 1857 revolt, just try to find out who were those personalities associated with this revolt. So just write personalities and then Jhansi Lakshmi Bai, Bihar Kunwar Singh, right, Lucknow. Similarly, Nana Sahib was also there. So you simply write the place and the person. This is another kind of, it will help you in recalling, reminding those points, and you can easily write answer on your copy. Okay. See, don't try to remember those pages of the book. Bahiro page mone rakhibani. It's very difficult because it's not only about 1 or 2 chapters. You have to remember all those 4 GS paper, and within that GS paper, you have Indian society, history, culture, geography, polity, constitution, social justice, governance, economy, science and tech, ethics. So we need to remember those key terms, places, personality, those who are associated with 1857 revolt. So events are important. 1857 revolt, then 1885 Congress, then Bengal partition, then Swadeshi movement, then what your All India Muslim League, Surat split. These are the events. And who were those personalities? If you see Surat split, there are 2 reasons behind the Surat split. One related to the president of, or related to the presidency of Indian National Congress, because moderates wanted someone else, extremists wanted someone else. This was the first difference of opinion. Second, regarding the Swadeshi movement or spread of Swadeshi movement, because moderates wanted to limit the Swadeshi movement within the Bengal itself, but extremists took it to other parts of the country. For example, Tilak, he took this movement to the Madras, Maharashtra, Pune, Bombay, those areas. So this you have to remember, personalities and those important events. Now coming to PYQs. Now whatever I just discussed with you, it could be timeline, mind mapping, personalities, events, everything depends on your first PYQs analysis. Now why PYQ analysis is important? Let me tell you. Suppose there are like ancient, medieval, modern histories are there. and there are art and culture as well. Okay. From the very childhood of mine or my school days, I always, I generally like to study ancient history. So whatever time I dedicated to history, the whole history, be it Odisha or be it India, I dedicated 70% time in ancient history. I just go through the details of the book, higher level books, detail of those ancient time, what happened during that time, or who were those kings, how were their administration, all those details I have studied. But when I went for the exam, I saw only 2 questions were asked from ancient, and your, let's say, 20% question were asked from ancient, 80% questions were asked from modern history. Right? That means in my preparation strategy, I made not a mistake, rather I would say blunder. Okay. So what we need to do from PYQ's analysis, we need to see the weightage of different areas. Which part of the history syllabus mostly asked in the exam, whether it is prelims or mains. And if you see, let me tell you, if you see, you will find modern India or modern Indian history would be that area where maximum questions are asked. Right? And within that modern India also, if you see, mostly the personalities, let's say the contribution of Gandhi, the contribution of Ambedkar, the contribution of, let's say, in as far as Odisha history is concerned, the contribution of Gopabandhu Das, the Bakshi Jagabandhu, the Bir Surendra Sai, these personalities they are asking. So what you do cost benefit analysis. By giving less time, we need to optimize our outcome or output. So that is known as the cost benefit analysis. So before you study any topic, it is applicable for irrespective of your subjects. It's not only for history, you can use it for the economics, for geography, for the political science or polity, what we call ethics, let's say, any such subject. So do this analysis first, cost benefit analysis. Don't go by emotions. I prefer, I like this particular topic or subject and I will study on this much, or I will devote more time to this subject. But you will find very less question in the exam. So cost benefit analysis is required, and that you can do from the previous year question paper. Okay, that is the utility of previous year question paper. At least it will give you that idea what are those areas they are asking questions the maximum. And also you will be able to know those types of questions they are asking from those areas. So this is the strategy part. Let me show you few PYQs, previous year question paper first with respect to prelims, then I will move to the mains part as well. King Kharavada belonged to which royal dynasty? This was a question in 2006 prelims. 2006 prelims. Right? That means dynasty is something they are asking. And this is, you can't come to a conclusion by seeing or observing one question. You just go through the last 5 to 7 years of question, or if possible just go through all of those years from 2006 to till 2023. Almost you will get 11 or 12 years of paper. You just go through that and analyze those areas. What are those areas they are asking the question maximum time? Another question, just see, who among the following Pala rulers established University of Vikramasila? 2011. Again, this is about the dynasty. What was the capital of Vatsa Mahajanapada? Okay, Vatsa Mahajanapada. Similarly, Bhumyakara started an era in the year 736 CE. What was the last known date mentioned in the Bhumyakara records? 2022. The Bhanjars of Kinjali Mandala initially had their capital at Dhritipura, but later on they shifted their capital to which of the following? These are dynasty history. I mean, time and again they are asking this dynasty history. Every year, 1 or 2 questions you will find. Who overthrew the Rashtrakutas? Right? Raja Rajeshwara temple of Tanjore was constructed by which of the following? Both the Lord Buddha and Lord Mahabira were. So this is religion part, but till now you will find the dynasties, dynasty history they are asking. So in similar manner, you have to go through the question, and from there you will be able to know what are those areas we need to focus upon. Which royal dynasty of early medieval Odisha we find the rule of queens? This is in 2006. Okay. So these are the prelims questions. Just I highlighted few samples. My objective is you please go through all those previous year question papers first before you start studying history. The strategy we need to follow: first PYQs, then have an analysis or write simply those weightages. How much importance or percentage is being given to the dynasty history. Then art and culture. Within that art and culture, how much importance has been given to, let's say, temple architecture, dance, drama, etc., etc. So these are the way you need to analyze, and then you start studying. Clear? I hope it's clear to everyone how to approach the history part. Okay. Similarly, you can see the mains part as well. What were the causes and consequences of Odisha famine of 1866? Discuss the light of the following. I mean, these are recent questions. Okay. British policy of forcibly extracting agricultural revenue, the heavy dependence of agriculture in India and the forces of nature. British time. Throw light on the role of Jai Rajguru and Bakshi Jagabandhu in resisting British control and inspiring people during the national movement. This is personality related questions. Okay, this is personality related questions. So, what we need to do, we need to find out, or if you see the final strategy, first important topics. So, first you start from the modern India, 1857 onwards. First you study 1857 onwards with respect to Indian history, and just after that go to the Odisha part as well, so that you can connect. If in Odisha, you will be able to know during the non-cooperation movement, Gandhiji came to Odisha for the first time in 1921, and that you connect. So linkage is important. So whenever you study Indian history, just after that, or with respect to Indian history, first start from the modern India, and just after that you start the Odisha history or the Odisha modern history. You can have a linkage. Right? Who are those moderates from Odisha leader? If I would ask you, who are those moderates in Indian history, you will be able to answer easily. But who are those moderate leaders from Odisha? Little bit difficult, you have to think. Who are those leaders from extremist group from Odisha? Right? Why Utkal Sammilani was formed? Right? Who was the first president of the Provincial Congress Committee of Odisha? Right? So whenever you study India part, modern India, then start Odisha part as well, so that you will have that interlinkage or interlinking of topics and events. Okay, so this would be your first topic. Second part is try to focus more on the art and culture. Try to focus more on the art and culture. If you see the latest of 5 to 6 years, they are more focusing on the art and culture rather than this लड़ाई war or something. जुद्ध लड़ाई और बेसिस से मैंने पहुंचाना. So what they are asking, art and culture. Mostly they are cultural contribution of Bhumyakara dynasty, cultural contribution of let's say Somavanshi dynasty, cultural contribution of Ganga dynasty, cultural contribution of Gajapati dynasty. So whenever you study a dynasty history, go through that. What are their cultural contribution? What exactly their contribution in terms of temple architecture? When we say cultural contribution, one aspect is temple architecture, second is the language, third is the societal. And when we say society, it includes, let's say, in the ancient time, when you will discuss the dynasty history, you will find mostly these dynasties prefer religious tolerance. So that means simultaneously they were giving patronage to Buddhism, Jainism, Brahmanism as well. So who are those dynasties who started this patronage to Brahmanism? Right? So such questions, you can see this. This question was, who was the dynasty where you will find the queen's rule? Because queen's rule is something important, because females were not given importance during those days. They were kept inside the four walls of household. And this is one dynasty who gave importance to queens, or the female rulers in this dynasty. So important aspects you will be easily find it out whenever you have a deeper study. That means if you are studying it with all seriousness, you will be able to find it out कि कोटा important no hai, what needs to be focused more upon. So from my observation, let me tell you, you start studying history from the modern India part, 1857 onwards. India first you will study, and then the Odisha part, and focus more on the art and culture rather than the ancient medieval. Okay, ancient medieval are also important, but start from the modern and then you go to ancient and medieval. Right? I mean, art and culture from ancient medieval rather than the battle and war, just I mentioned. So these are few strategies or few points which I wanted to focus upon. Okay. If you have any query, any doubt, you can ask. Do you have any query or doubt? So now onwards, we will come live sessions with respect to history. Odisha history, Indian history, PYQs, all those details. If you want, you can drop a message in the comment section as well. Which type of sessions do you want from me? This is one part. Second part also, I am coming with those sessions very soon, since prelims is approaching, and those who are first timers, for them you need a proper guidance. So we are coming with those sessions. Any doubt? No. If you have doubt, you can drop a message in the comment section. In the meantime, let me tell you, those who are appearing prelims this time in July, the tentative dates have been given by the OPSC till now. So you can join our Abhyas batch. We have optional batch as well, sociology optional, geography and home science. And this is Great Knowledge Festival. If you are not yet decided to join a course, you can think again about it, because it's a very comprehensive course, prelims and mains. Name is Aarambh batch, foundation batch 1. Okay, and details I have already told you, but still let me tell you again. 1100 hours live classes, daily mains question with answer writing, one-to-one group and mentorship. Current affairs PPT will get, weekly current affairs PDF you will get, module wise test you will get, complete prelims test series, monthly state wise current affairs, monthly current affairs magazine, current affairs MCQs, daily classes, topic wise complete content, daily handwritten content. Okay. And it has this 2 years validity. If you are in the final years of your graduation, then also you can join and you can appear for the next time. Okay. So if you want to get this PDF, then you can join my Telegram channel, and daily basis I am coming with the current affairs classes at 9 AM. That PDF also you can get it here, and in Facebook and Insta also you can follow me. And if you have any query, any doubt, you can ask. Kichi bhi doubt jodi achi, you can ask me. Kichi language is not the case, you can ask in Odia as well. Semti kichi no hai, jaha bhi apanଙ୍କର doubt thibo pacharibe. Okay. कार किसी डाउट अच्छी की? No. Okay, fine. Then let's stop this session here. Soon we'll meet in different sessions. Okay. Thank you very much and see you soon. Thank you.